Hello and welcome back to the Bottom Bins podcast. This is the fourth instalment of our World Cup series. Got a couple of interesting topics to run through today, obviously. The knockout stages have started, lads. World Cup's getting interesting now.
Finally.
Mm-hmm. It's taking its time, but we're getting there. So, first thing I'm going to put to you is, lads.
Well, just before we start, I want to apologise for last week's audio quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, we think we've got it back this week.
Yeah. And thankfully we're not sick anymore either. So hopefully that is reflected in our voices too. Yeah. But yes, look, knockout stages started there on Saturday, just past. We've seen a couple of teams in action already. The big boys have all gone through thus far in their knockout games. Look, there's only been 4, but who out of those 4 that have progressed to the next stage has impressed you the most?
France.
Yeah, it just has to be really, doesn't it?
France are playing well.
Yeah.
And of course, me and Owen's pick for the Golden Boot, Olivier Giroud, performing.
Still going there.
Still going.
He's still in it.
But it's hard not to look at that France team and think Kylian Mbappe is their soul.
Yeah, he's the man.
He's their man. Obviously, at the start of the year, whenever Haaland first broke on at City, everybody was saying, who's better, Haaland or Mbappe? It's tough to say. Both different types of players. But one thing is for sure, the state of football is in good hands with them too. I do think they could, well, maybe not replicate the careers of Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, but of course have that personality and that ego that those two great footballers had for all those years. Mbappe is just, he's been phenomenal this World Cup. He showed his pace, he showed his qualities.
Yeah.
He showed why PSG offered so much money to keep him at the club. Even though he doesn't want to be at the club anymore, well, read into that what you want. Maybe he should have went to Madrid, whatever. But based on this World Cup, Kylian Mbappe, he is 9 goals over 2 World Cups. Same amount as Lionel Messi, more than Maradona, more than Ronaldo, more than greats like that in so many less World Cups.
Yeah.
That man, he's for real.
That was the point I was going to make though. Like, see, when he retires, say he wins another World Cup and he keeps scoring the goals, he could go down
As the GOAT, do you think?
He could win a few Ballon d'Ors, a few Champions Leagues. He could, because people count that the World Cup, because you think of Maradona, you think of Pele.
Yeah.
World Cups.
Can I be honest? I'm glad you actually brought up Haaland though in this conversation too, because I actually think they're going to play together.
Do you think so?
I think they'll both play at Madrid. Like 100%. I think Madrid's heading back towards that sort of Galactico phase.
Yeah.
And like a front line of Haaland and Mbappe with a midfield 3 of possibly Bellingham, Tchouaméni and Camavinga.
Still have Vinicius up front as well.
Still have Vinny Jr. in there too. Like,
Real Madrid is slowly getting back to the best team in the world status.
Yeah.
And it's great to see, because I don't know if it's just me, but I've always preferred Real Madrid to Barcelona. I think it might have been because Ronaldo was there or whatever.
Ronaldo.
But even before that, I still would have bought a Madrid jersey if I had a choice or whatever. And my dad always liked Madrid and stuff like this. So,
Madrid jerseys are nicer.
Yeah, they're quality.
So much
yeah,
nicer.
they're quality. And they always had the collar and boing by.
Do you remember like the gold one?
Yeah,
the Ronaldo in the back and gold. That was
insane.
It was unreal.
But it's good to see, and I don't know if it is just me, but I like seeing Real Madrid get back to the top. They're a team that I always feared in the Champions League, no matter what. Like, we were drawn against Barcelona here in the Europa League, and I have no fear whatsoever.
I do.
Yeah, but anyway, Richie.
United smash Barcelona.
Yes, sir.
Smash them into the ground. It's not even close, to be honest. But anyway, moving on from that, we're not here to talk about European football. So yeah, France obviously looking the most impressive. Look, I'm not going to lie, lads. I didn't watch all of England's game yesterday. I seen maybe 25 minutes of it.
You didn't miss much.
It bored me to tears, to be completely honest.
But you know what? Like, the first half an hour, I thought, Senegal have a chance here, but me and Owen, we watched it. Senegal fell off.
Completely. Yeah.
And what did we say, Owen, for all 3 goals? Goalkeeper should have done better.
I think Mendy was poor.
Yeah.
Even the crosses were going to the box and he was like doing the hokey pokey. Oh no, I get this one. No, I'll leave it. He's out and in like, and for Henderson's goal and Saka's goal, he got enough of a hand on it to keep them out. They would have been great saves, but Mendy is a goalkeeper who we're told is capable of making these saves, and his hand was so weak for them.
Can I just let the listener know, by the way, I have just watched my man do the hokey pokey in his chair.
And you would have heard the chair creaks as said person done the hokey pokey. So, just to give the listeners a bit of a feel what was going on in the studio.
Well, like, yeah, England were so disappointing. I thought for like the first 40 minutes, and then because like who was it? Sarr missed a great chance.
Yeah, I did.
And
Pickford made a great save.
Pickford made a great save. So
Should it have been a penalty on his Milosaur?
oh, the handball.
No,
No,
when he went through the back of him.
Stones kicked right through the back.
Yeah.
I think because the ball it didn't really impact the ball necessarily. It didn't impact the play too much. It wasn't given, but say if that
On-field decision was given at the start.
yeah, see if Sarr tries to take that down,
Yeah.
they go shoot back on. That should be a penalty.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think it would have made any difference.
Yes.
Looking at the
of course.
second half performance, Senegal just completely
But like England's
fell away. But
England's fitness as well looks pretty good. I know
Mm,
they
it
were
does.
saying about the heat and all, but maybe it's just their squad depth. But Senegal just died off after that first 30, like 35. They should have probably been 1-0 up, but England then scored, confident, kicked on. But their real test will be the next game against France. Like,
Senegal are always going to struggle to fight Mane.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not just the capability of Mane as a player, but to lose your leader and your talisman 3 days before World Cup, it confirmed he wasn't going to be playing. Like, it's just
Yeah.
that would have taken the air completely out of them.
Yeah.
but they done well to get the last 16.
They did.
I know, but see, I was thinking about this.
Because we tipped Ecuador.
They done well to get to the round of 16. They're the African champions.
Yeah, they
Did
are.
they do well?
No.
Like that African champions should be doing better. Do you know what I mean?
Well, Morocco's doing better, but
I know, but
yeah.
I don't know.
We tipped Ecuador too. We tipped Ecuador and completely fell flat.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about Jude Bellingham
Oh, it's
Yeah.
because he was phenomenal yesterday.
He's key to everything England do good.
Yeah.
And he can play, it just looks as though he can play beside any midfield partner,
Yeah.
whether that
Yeah.
be Henderson, Rice,
Yeah.
Phillips, whoever it might be. He looks to be. Normally, you would have said it was Rice that was the first name on the team sheet in that midfield area,
Yeah.
but now it's Bellingham,
Possible Bellingham.
Oh, Bellingham.
without doubt.
Yeah.
And then it's whoever is in good form plays alongside
Yeah.
Bellingham.
Yeah.
But he was that pass that he played to Foden, where he took the ball on the half turn and
Yeah.
dribbled through about 3 men.
Yeah.
I don't understand how at 19 you can be that cultured, that strong on the ball,
That confident.
that confident, and to already have that ability at 19 years of
I
age.
know.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous. Like,
He doesn't feel like he's like it feels like Bellingham's been about for a long time now.
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
true.
I know he has.
Experience.
When did he make a debut? What, like 16?
16
Yeah.
for Birmingham.
Yeah.
Birmingham, yeah.
So like everybody laughed at Birmingham retiring his number.
I know, but
They might have just been the first of many to end up doing it.
exactly. Nobody's laughing now. Like, do you know what I mean?
I'm genuinely being serious here though. Like, I have found, do you see in the last 10 years, do you see some of the young players that get produced now? They are like levels above some of the young players from
Yeah.
like 20 years ago.
It's because of
Yeah.
the training and
It is
stuff
the
that you can have.
Yeah,
now, like,
but like Bellingham at 16 looked like he was ready to make that next step.
Yeah.
Now he chose Dortmund, and he ultimately has made that next step. But again, you look at him now at 19, and you're like, right, he's probably ready to make that next step again. And to me, the next step for Bellingham is I don't think he should come back to the Premier League. I think he should go to Madrid.
Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Madrid. would be good.
well, I would say that as a biased United fan because I know there's absolutely no chance of us getting him. I think by the looks of things, if he does come to the Premier League, it's the big boys, it's Liverpool and City who's going after him.
Yeah.
But if he was to go to Madrid, like we were just talking about Madrid, like how well would that solidify not only their midfield but their status as the best team in Europe, let alone the best team in the world?
Oh, it would bring them like. I look at Jude Bellingham and I just see a captain. Like whatever club he goes to next, he will be the captain of. Now, maybe not in those first couple of years that he's there, but I'd say by the time he's 25, 26, he'll be a captain somewhere.
Yeah.
He's so good under pressure, like as you said, like he's only 19 and he's just not afraid. He just goes forward with the ball and he always seems to pick the right pass. He's just an unbelievable player.
Well, he's 14 goal contributions in all competitions this season.
He made the right choice as well going to Dortmund because I know
Yeah.
United were kind of
Yeah.
looking at him, but he said, I need first team football, and we couldn't give him that. He's only 16 at the time, so he definitely made the right choice, and now he'll probably kick on.
There's a reason he went for 35 million.
Isn't it a bit stupid though, looking back at it now, that United were like, we couldn't give you first team football, considering some of the shite that plays for us.
I
Like,
know, but it was probably the managers and stuff too, and the way United were going, it wasn't the best career decision for him. Sure, even look at Moises Caicedo. Like I seen a link to us yesterday for 70 million for him.
That's mad.
We
could
went
have had
for
him for
5
5
million.
Yeah.
2 summers ago.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
look,
Dortmund's the perfect club for youngsters to go to.
Yeah.
Because their whole ethos is playing young players. Like, look at the talent that Dortmund's developed and produced. Recently, like Haaland.
Sancho.
Obviously, he's at Salzburg, but he made a proper name for himself at Dortmund.
Yep.
Sancho, Bellingham now. Pulisic, who was, when he was playing for Dortmund, was a really top-class player. What you call it? Is it Makuku or
Makoko.
Oh, Makoko.
Yeah,
Makoko
class.
at the minute now, like
They've got Adiyemi now.
yeah, and Dortmund.
Gio Reyna.
Bellingham's captain Dortmund already, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He captained them with like 18 or something,
Yeah.
which is crazy for an English player to go to the German league and captain probably the second biggest club in Germany.
Yeah.
That's what I love about him, though. Like, it's not just his on-field performances. He speaks so well in the press after games. He's the first one to come out after a big defeat. Like when they were beat by Man City in the Champions League, he was the first one to come out and say, look, better team won. We just have to regroup and come back next year. Yeah. I think that's phenomenal for an 18, 19-year-old at that time to come out and have the confidence to speak for his team. Like, you don't get that.
I know.
He's probably just been media trained, if he even was. He might just be that mature for his age, and you can see it in his game, let alone off the pitch as well.
Well, he had that incident a couple of years ago, if you can remember, where I think they played Bayern Munich in a league game.
He said about the
about
referee.
the referee, that's right.
He said about the referee.
Yeah.
So he was reprimanded heavily by Dortmund after that. I think he was fined 2 or 3 weeks' wages for that. But since that incident, I completely agree with you. It's you'd swear you're looking at a 29 or a 30-year-old conducting media interviews.
He clearly has good people around him, like
Yes.
to keep him his head screwed on, keep him straight now. Because how often do you see young players start making the break and they go mad?
Yeah.
Gets to their head. Goes to their
He
head.
obviously has people around him, and he's obviously mature enough himself to listen to the people around him.
Yep.
And keep on the straight and keep his head screwed on.
No, it pains me to say it, but England really do have a generational superstar there on their hands. Like, honestly, like I think personally for me, I think Foden's development slowed down a wee bit.
Yeah.
I don't think Foden's as highly sought after as he might have been a year ago. And by all means, I'm not saying Foden's a bad player. He is still.
Like he got 2 assists last night.
Yeah, like he's
He
still
can play that key
phenomenal.
pass, you know.
Yeah, like he is still world class.
Yeah.
But in terms of like that generational, like when we use that term generational, like to me Bellingham is more generational than Foden.
And another player that we've mentioned heavily in this podcast, especially you, Richie, scored a great goal last night, Bukayo Saka.
Yeah.
Great player.
I'm going to be completely honest with you, lad. If I could have one player from any Premier League side and take them to United, I want Saka.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
I love watching him. He is creative. He is a fantastic finisher of the ball. His dribble, close control ability, I think, is actually pretty unmatched.
He loves to take a man on and beat him. Like, he's so good.
Just one of those players that I sit back and it doesn't even bother me that he plays for Arsenal. I just sit back
You
and
just admire his
I enjoy
quality.
watching him.
Yeah.
I'm a bit jealous, to be fair. I'd love to have a player
He's
like
3
that.
goals in 3 World Cup games. He didn't play against Wales, didn't he? Not.
No, he got
no.
dropped against Wales.
Yeah, so he's 3 goals in 3 games. Like,
That's class.
Like, he kept Rashford out of the team.
Yeah.
That shows how good he is. Rashford just scored 2 goals against Wales.
I know.
And he kept him out of the team.
Well, again,
I think it was a bad
Like,
decision from Southgate. to
so
be
do I,
honest.
to be completely honest. No,
I
I understand.
I don't mean Saka
Maybe
starting over
Foden,
him.
maybe Foden, yeah.
But Rashford should have been starting.
Yeah.
No, you have a player.
Especially
I
after
understand
what
as well.
happened to
Later in the tournament as well, you have a player who's so confident,
Yeah.
and then you just go, no, you're on the bench.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
it worked out. Like, Foden did set up.
Yeah,
2 goals
he
last
did,
night.
yeah.
Saka did score.
But it's more like, it's not that game, it's more like future games.
I know, but like Southgate's not there. Like, he can't think about future games. He
He's
has
not
to
there to
think
please
about
the fans.
Senegal.
He does, yeah.
He's not there to make players happy. At the end of the day, he's
there to win.
games.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's at the best to Rashford and stuff, and he played great against Wales. His 2 goals were fantastic, but Saka and Foden didn't do anything wrong last night. They didn't show any reason that they should have been dropped, or Rashford should be starting over them. Like, obviously Rashford is a good player, but if you have 2 players who are being successful at the minute and prove to be successful, you're going to have to stick with them.
I understand that, but I don't think that's us being biased towards Rashford because we're United fans. He scored 3 World Cup goals. Like I said,
I know he has.
that's any
He was
reason
man
for
of
him
the
to
match.
start.
Man of the match previous game, like, just to get dropped.
I don't think that's
Spence.
bias. I just think that's
it's not bias.
like, obviously you can't please everyone, and he's not there to please the fans, let alone the players. He is there to win, and I fully understand that. And obviously his decision has paid off. Fair play to him. He knows more than us, obviously, because he's the manager. But I wouldn't say it's biased for us to think Rashford should be starting when he scored 3 World Cup goals. I'd say most England fans probably had him in their predicted lineups.
Yeah, a lot of
before
people
the
were
game,
saying
do you
like
know
it
what I mean?
was impossible to drop him.
Well, a lot of those pundits, strongest England 11 pre the Senegal game, 85% of them included Rashford.
Included Rashford, yeah.
You know, and again, England have that ability to play Bellingham and Rice together with somebody in front of them. I don't know why that somebody can't be Foden, and then that leaves your Rashford, Saka, Kane up top.
I'd agree with that.
To me, that's where That's where England are probably at their strongest when they deploy that sort of system. But the problem is, like, is he ever going to drop Mason Mount?
They're never going to do that.
No.
Well, they played Henderson and
Yeah.
he scored, I know,
Yeah.
but I watched that first 40 minutes, lads, and I'm telling you, see against a better opposition, like against the France, been 2-0 to France, 100%.
I give them no chance against France.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
And do
you know.
you know what the thing is? I think they'll actually, I think I said this earlier to you, I think they'll go back to back five against France, they will. And
Maybe.
they'll play like Walker as a third centre back, I think, and they'll just be on Mbappe's side and they'll double up on Mbappe.
They could. Well,
That's what
look,
they'll do.
every team's been doubling up on Mbappe,
Yeah.
but it hasn't worked.
And he's still...
Matty Cash.
Still insane. Matty Cash, yeah. Mbappe is he's
So
doing
good.
his thing,
Yeah.
and he's putting his arms under his armpits and all, doing all that there, giving it begging.
Yeah.
Fair play to him, he deserves it. But Reggie hates him.
She doesn't like him.
Despise him.
He's so good though. He's so
Here, but I've seen it yesterday. Big mates Anthony Martial. What? Mbappe to Manchester. United, hopefully, actually, that is, not City.
I'd personally stand at Manchester Airport and kick him back on the plane. Yeah, look, the tournament's definitely heating up at this stage.
Yeah.
And the greatest soccer team were knocked out.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it.
That was a great game.
It actually was a good game of
Really
football.
enjoyed- It was competitive because, look, USA have performed this World Cup. Like, they're playing decent football. It's just, they can't finish.
They got caught out a bit as well. The first two goals were like so similar.
Yeah.
The boy on the edge of the box, like so many teams don't fall for that.
Yeah.
They just and on half time 1-0, you're like it's not the worst. Get the half time, but like the England game, and they just got
And especially against the Dutch. Like, they're
Yeah.
renowned for doing that. Like, they're renowned for getting to the byline and passing it across the
I
box.
know that's what they do.
Look at all the Dutch
Dumfries.
players that even played in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Like, Daley Blind scored the other
I
night.
know. He got
How many
it.
times did he do that for United? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I just popped up.
just
and-
popped up in that position
Yeah.
and rifled it into the
It was-
corner. Like,
The States were very naive against the Netherlands.
Yeah.
They fell right into Van Gaal's trap.
yeah.
Van Gaal knew exactly what he was going to do. He was right, America, you're a team that likes to counter-attack. You just like to have a bit of a chip in the shoulder and fight as underdogs. Have the ball.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it?
You take a piece.
Well, we know that, lads, because
Take
we
it, lads.
watched Lee Van Gaal ball.
You work
We know
away.
that.
You
Take it.
Take that ball. I'm doing my Van Hal impression. Take that ball now.
But we've watched Lee Van Gaal as a manager. Like that is what he does. He just goes, "Go
Yeah.
ahead, lads. You have the possession. We'll just counter you
Yeah.
all day."
He's the expert at it.
Play away there, lads. Oh, look, it's half time. You're 2-0 down. How did that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, he is.
Like USA had more shots
Yeah.
and more possession, 60% possession, and still lost.
I think if the US though if they had a decent number 9,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they could convert a lot more chances.
They
but
don't have a finisher.
yeah, they're missing, like, all the hope is pinned on Pulisic.
And he actually has. He's not been bad in this tournament.
No, he's been good.
Oh no, I'm not saying he's been bad,
He's
but
been good. Like he set
but
up the
if-
goal.
if-
He's been involved in every one of their goals.
but
Yeah.
if you're relying on Pulisic to be the guy to get
Captain
you
America,
over the
man.
line,
LeBron James of soccer.
Tell you what, though. You see if
James.
that fella right meant that goal. That's one of the best World Cup goals ever if he meant that goal.
There's no word he meant that. He just stuck a foot out and he's like, "Oh, went in. Happy days. I meant that. Look at me. Look at me."
no, I have to say though, still unimpressed with the Dutch though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but that's the way they play, lad. That's the way they do it.
But
As we said,
They're
about
so
Louis van Gaal, they
boring.
just grind
They're
out
so
wins.
boring.
they're getting
Yeah.
it done.
And against Argentina, they'll do the same. They'll say, "Go on ahead, lads. You control the possession. We'll just counter you."
Yeah,
And it could work.
But Argentina struggled against that.
That's what I'm saying.
Teams giving them the ball.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They are going to.
So-
I think Holland could give them a good game.
It will be a good game.
The Pace goal was good too. Good finish.
Yeah.
It was a good finish.
He hates America now. Have you seen him on
No,
Twitter?
he's all over with whatever.
What was it? All dog or all bark,
All
no
barking
bite.
bite, yeah.
And then he tweeted out again, goes, "They love me over there."
But see, the Dutch are one of those sides that, you know, they're like another one of those international sides that I'd love to just see them take the shackles off, like,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just play.
and just go for it.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you now, like, Johan Cruyff would be turning in his
no.
grave
Aye.
if he seen some of the football that the Dutch play.
It's
like.
what we were talking about last week. They just keep regenerating their managers
I know.
who aren't great managers.
Yeah.
Let's be 100%
Oh,
honest. Like, don't get me
completely.
wrong, Louis van Gaal's one of the best managers ever in football, and he is. And his accolades show that. But in terms of progressive football, he hasn't changed his style. A bit like Jose Mourinho, he hasn't changed his style since when it worked.
Yeah.
So that if in a few years they have an Erik ten Hag as the national team manager, that could be a very exciting Dutch team. to watch.
He'll not change either. He's very stubborn. Like I seen, he said, like, I know how to progress at world major tournaments. He's only lost one major tournament game, and that was on penalties to Argentina. So I don't like the way he plays football. I agree, but you can't really argue with the results.
Yeah.
It's the result business, and that's
Tournament football at the end of the day.
that's
It's,
it. Like,
Do you know what though? Like the past week, the World Cup's been exciting. Like
Yeah,
we
it
were
was the
talking
group
about
stage,
last
so wasn't it?
week.
It was the group
end-
stage.
The
even
group
end of the
stage
group
is
mad.
were fantastic. Like
Japan.
that Japan, Costa Rica, Spain, and Germany group. Richie, like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it was absolute madness. To be completely honest, though, I don't even think that was the maddest one. No, I think the Portugal,
That was
Uruguay,
mad.
No, don't get me
South
wrong. I know
Korea.
it was mad, but for 3 minutes, look, it was 3 great minutes. For 3 minutes,
No, it
both
wasn't. No, it
Spain
wasn't.
and Germany were going out.
I just, I,
What do you mean? No, it wasn't.
Because I said Spain's going to win the World Cup.
bollocks
and
to
I have them
you,
in the
Norman,
sweepstake. And I
bollocks
have
to
them,
you.
have them in the sweepstake.
Think
as well.
about it for football.
No,
lads.
I need Spain.
I have England.
It's
It's
actually-
you think I want them to win it?
It's a good thing. Spain, sure they get an easier draw now. It's all part of their plan.
I
Enrique's a
don't,
genius.
I
They don't
don't
have an
care about Spain. I care about football.
And they don't have an easier
Oh,
draw because
the only thing is
Japan
that-
and Costa Rica were going
No,
through. That's a fairy
The only
tale
thing,
story.
the only thing is, like, do you really want to watch Costa Rica in the last 16?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch Spain either, so it makes no
Oh, they're a
difference.
lot better team, better players. Costa
Oh,
Rica.
I
are
know,
so
I know, I know,
amazing.
I know.
You want to see an underdog
If
all
you-
the time.
Oh, I really want to see like Joel Campbell and Ruiz and all.
Oh, I should.
Nah,
Let's go
you-
watch Alvaro Morata. Yeah, no bad,
You-
Norman.
you
lad.
can't-
3 goals and 3, lad.
Oh,
You can't sit
awful.
there and tell me that if that group finished Japan, Costa Rica,
No, it would have been. I
you
understand
would
the
have
point,
gone,
but
oh my god,
I-
this is unreal. You're not going to sit there and go, oh, I really
Oh,
want to
worst
see
World
Spain
Cup
and
ever.
Germany.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
boo.
You slag Morata, 3 goals in 3 games.
Oh, I don't care.
You don't care. That's a good comeback.
I actually don't care.
What's wrong with the sport in Spain, boys?
No, nothing's wrong with sport and
I
Spain.
understand it's like a
Football in
fantasy thing. I
perspective.
understand, yeah, but
I thought it was class.
Costa Rica.
But
I
it was class at the time. It was fun.
Like, no harm to you. If you, who do you want to see win the World Cup? Brazil or Japan or somebody like that? I'd rather see somebody like
Yeah.
Japan win it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it'd be
That
a
is-
madness.
No, I know that. But
like, you support Man United. Were you not happy for Leicester whenever they won the Premier League?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Richard.
But that's not a good point. That's not a good point. That's not
not a good
It's
point.
totally different. That's not a good point. That's not.
Anyway, Richie.
I used to love Spain as a kid.
Yeah.
I now hate Spain. Because Galvey plays
This is
for
a
them.
pure Spain. This is a pure Spain-hated podcast, lads. Come on. What is this? It's getting ganged up on.
And
What
my-
have you thought about the group stages? The last few days of the group stage.
The last few days definitely piqued my interest
Yeah.
and definitely made me. I want to say I'm maybe starting to get the World
Yes,
Cup
you
feeling.
have to be.
I'm maybe getting just that little itch, but
Yeah.
I mean, previous to that point, I have never been as bored of football in all my life.
Yeah.
I was genuinely thinking about maybe suggesting to cut the podcast short until the World Cup was over and then coming back because it was boring me to tears. But those last couple of days were manic, honestly. I don't know if you've seen the scenes at the end of that Uruguay game.
That was hilarious.
That was mental.
Serious?
I thought Giovanni was going to rip someone's head
Serious?
off. Like,
What about Joey Jimenez? He elbowed.
did he?
Yeah, you could get 15 games or something. He elbowed like an official. And then what was it? Cavani
Serious?
hit the
I-
VAR
I
thing.
hit the VAR monitor. But they were all.
PPV UFC, Cavani VAR.
I seen a photo on Twitter and it was the Uruguay manager pointing at all the FIFA executives and giving them the fingers and all. I was like, wow,
no,
that's
like,
mental.
Uruguay's went mad. You see Suarez tweeting out like they hate us.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be completely honest. I have never been more happy to see a grown man cry in all
same.
my life.
Same.
Fucking Luis Suarez, but
Did you think it was a penalty at the end though? The Cavani one.
no, I didn't.
He kind of stopped, didn't he? And he
I actually,
initiated the contact.
if anything, I felt that Cavani was the one that fell himself.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't
No.
think it was a penalty, to be
No, I
completely
don't
honest.
either.
Now, don't get me wrong, if he still played for United, I'd probably say it was a penalty, but he doesn't, so unlucky.
The only thing about the group stage is it's the last one of this format.
Yeah.
They're moving.
48
They're
teams.
changing it to the 48 teams.
Aye, so
Ireland
there's
get in
no.
now.
You'll only get.
Yeah, you think we're going
We couldn't even get in the
I do.
Euros. We couldn't
No,
even
I
get in the
do. I
Euros.
think we're brilliant at it.
Sure, we couldn't even get in the Euros when they
I
extended
don't
it.
care.
We're gonna go in it. We're gonna get in
I
there.
was going to win the whole thing.
And
Think
we're
we'll
gonna
get in there.
smash everyone,
What's that? Hang on.
especially England.
Yeah, we have a good record against them in Asia tournaments. Just saying. David O'Leary coming back, Paggy Bonner, Robbie Keane, Ray Keane, all talking out.
I will get them out, will I?
See what Wes Houlihan's doing these days, Lionel Wesley.
So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed those last couple of group games. I thought there was definitely some big shocks in there. Do you know? I noticed one of the teams that we didn't talk about last week, Belgium.
Oh, brutal.
It's falling
Crap.
apart.
Lukaku.
Oh,
Some of them misses. That
Brutal.
chest one. Oh,
Well, that's two of the big hitters out now.
yeah.
Belgium and Germany are out of the World Cup.
Do you know what my granda said to me the other day though? Me and him were talking about this, or talking about the World Cup, and he says to me, "Germany's just a name." I goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "They're just a name in world football." He was like, "If you look at that Germany team now, compared to that Germany side that won the World Cup in 2014, he said they are an absolute shadow of themselves." He goes, "There's not." He genuinely, this is what he said to me. He goes, "There's not one of those current German boys that's fit to lace any of the boots of the boys that played in 2014."
I disagree.
but
I
you know
think
that-
Joshua Kimmich is one of the best footballers in the world.
See, I said that to my granda as well, and my granda goes, "Nah, he's all right."
But do you think it's like the England thing when they were going
I
really
suppose
badly?
it's just a matter of opinion.
That's it. Like, because like I would say Kimmich's probably one of the best CDMs that I've ever seen. I would say
Yes.
Goretzka's one of the best box-to-box midfielders
Yeah.
I've ever seen. I think from midfield, Germany are fine.
Yes.
It's anything
But then
behind midfield and anything in front of midfield. I think Neuer needs to go as well.
Yeah.
Oh my
There's
god.
plenty
They
of
moved.
goalkeepers there too. Like
Yeah.
there's Ter Stegen and Trapp too.
Yeah.
Like,
they moved Kimmich to right back and they actually got better.
Yeah.
But that's probably not because he's not a good box-to-box midfielder. It's just because
He's more-
he shores
he's
up
better.
the defense.
He's-
That's
he's
what- I think
better
that
than what
shows
they've gotten right
how
back.
good he is.
Mm-hmm.
He can play right back.
His
Or,
versatility's insane.
It is.
but that's where they said he messed it up the first game, the manager, because the team he picked, it was just wrong. Like he started Havertz. I know Havertz got 2 goals at the end, but
Did you see the picture of Havertz was man of the
man
match?
of the match, it's
Yeah.
so sad. But,
But he kept going into games with an unrecognised number 9.
Yeah, we said this last week.
When he-
Fulkrug should have been
Fulkrug
When
up
he's the
there.
Should've
Bundesliga top scorer, chilling beside him.
Yeah.
yeah, that was it.
Like Fulkrug was the obvious option. He also had Adeyemi and Mukoko.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think
But
they got a minute.
He didn't even start your way, Fulkrug or whatever,
Yeah.
against Costa Rica either.
Mhm.
That's mad.
Well, I did
And then he
see
came
there was
on and the
talk
game
about
changed.
Hansi Flick retiring, or not retiring, resigning. Sorry. Whether that happens
I
or
can't
not,
see
I don't
that.
know. But he was talking about it in an interview.
Was
To be honest, I think that would be a good move
He
for
said
Germany.
he said he needs to change his training or something.
Was that his first competition? No, he was in the Euros, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
2020.
he played the Euros.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Hansi Flick's a really good manager. Obviously, he done well with Bayern Munich, but I swore he would go after that as well.
He could take a break from coaching for a while.
Could do.
But the home Euros coming up, like I think they will stay with
Stick
him.
with him. I know. It's who they get in and all after that there. It's
Yeah.
just
Look,
a whole different thing.
If the likes of Mukoko and Adeyemi keep developing, you know, the next Euros is 2 years. It's 2 years down the line.
2024, yeah.
2024. So if those boys keep developing and if they grow into decent number 9s, you would say Germany's probably back in with a chance in at the Euros. But maybe this tournament was just a tournament before
Yes.
they're about to hit their success.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I think just because they've went out and all, obviously the emotions are running high. We've actually seen it with a lot of managers, like Roberto Martinez. He's left Belgium
Yeah.
since they went out.
Belgium with the shambles.
He's
He had to
resigned.
go.
No, I understand that. But Roberto Martinez is a good manager.
Yeah.
And he underperformed with Belgium because for some reason Belgium are held as this holy grail of national team football.
Can I be honest with you though? Do you know the way last week we were talking about Southgate and Big Sam? To me, Roberto Martinez is like a Gareth Southgate. I couldn't understand what he was doing managing one of the best international sides in the world. I feel like if Belgium had a world class manager, I think they would have won something during that golden era. Like I don't think Roberto Martinez is that good of a manager, to be completely honest.
I
Like,
don't think it's his fault though. This tournament, I think they're just
No,
aging, like,
fair enough. No,
real-
this tournament is completely down to
Yeah.
players. Like, don't get me wrong. I think he got some of his team selections
See,
wrong at times.
Their
but
average age is like 31.
Yeah.
The last game they got crazy.
They're doing their best France 2010 impression
Yeah.
this World Cup. Like just everybody,
So
the
you-
whole thing falling apart.
Mincy would have always told me, shout out to Mincy, he's my one of my mates and he's an Everton fan, but he would have always said, like, he has watched Coleman and Martinez manage Everton, and even the likes of Marco Silva. And like Mincy texted me the other day and he said to me he's shocked at how well Marco Silva's doing at Fulham because he doesn't know how to organise a defence. He says Ronald Koeman's the opposite, knows how to organise a defence but can't organise an attack. And then he said Martinez is like the worst parts of both managers. He said couldn't organise a defence and couldn't string a decent attack together. So like, as he said to me, he couldn't understand what made Belgium go for that type of pedigree rather than going for one of the top coaches.
I don't know. I thought at the time Roberto Martinez was one of the top coaches that they had available to them. And I do think... I don't think Roberto Martinez will struggle to get a job now that he's left Belgium. I can honestly see him at Spurs if Pochettino doesn't go back because I can't see contest.
He's been linked to Barcelona and teams like that.
Like, he is a good manager. And I understand, like, obviously, Mincy knows him a lot better than me. Like, I wouldn't have watched Everton under Martinez flat out. Like, I just think, like we were saying there, that the Belgium team's average age is 31.
31, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's not ideal, but it's not old. That should be their prime ages.
I think the problem is, though, too many of those boys are on the wrong side of 30.
Do you think about that? Everybody's not 31. There's boys 35.
No,
36,
I know. I know that.
You know what I mean? Like, their defence is just...
I understand their defence.
But the thing about it is, we could have been speaking...
We
could have been speaking differently if Lukaku could finish his chances. Because they really should have got through. And they would have been playing Japan the night. And you just never know. They could have went on a run.
It's just one of them things. I don't know. Belgium, as I said about 5 minutes ago, like, they're held by FIFA, in my opinion, as this holy grail of national team football.
Yeah,
second in the world.
for years.
Number one for years, but they've never done anything.
They haven't even reached the final.
That's why the FIFA World
I've
Rankings.
never understood that.
It's to do with the qualifying and stuff, isn't it? You just win all them easy games.
You see, that's the thing. They had that one Nations League campaign where they absolutely blitzed everyone and like proper blitzed everyone. That's the only international success on Belgium's behalf.
I suppose they've got some of the best players in the world in their team.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's just...
Like, De Bruyne has been so poor at this World Cup too.
Yeah, well...
And his comments and all.
There's only one attacking midfielder from both the Manchester clubs that performs on every stage, and that is, of course, Richie. Bruno Fernandes. What a baller, base.
It's so good.
Great tournament.
He's playing unreal for Portugal. Like.
So good. I feel like I'm back in 2020 right now. I've got 2020 Bruno vibes. Like, he's back to like that just ridiculous numbers, ridiculous performances, and just completely carrying his side through. Because I'm not being funny, but while Bruno is playing absolutely magnificent, Ronaldo is having an absolute stinker.
Did you see he's in the worst team of the tournament?
Yep.
Yeah.
Stinker, like
he has been poor.
And what I like about Bruno this tournament is he showed his versatility. He's been played on the left, on the right, and through the middle, and he showed that he can perform wherever he's wanted by the manager. And I think that's not just good for the national team, but it's good for Manchester United as well.
But he's been playing alright for us this year, like.
Yeah, he has, and he's been the linchpin in that Portugal midfield. Like, he didn't play in their last game, he didn't start in their last game. Yeah. There was a lack of chances, of course. Diogo Dalot came in and got an assist after 6 minutes, but I don't know. Like, I think part of Ronaldo's problem at Portugal so far in this tournament is that Bruno hasn't been behind him for the entire tournament. He's been coming off the right. I think if Bruno was playing down the middle, you know better than me, McCurdy, because you're a Cristiano Ronaldo fanatic. If Ronaldo had that service to his feet through the middle rather than from the wings, do you think he would have done better this tournament? Or
I don't think Ronaldo's been necessarily horrible this tournament. Like, I'm getting some weird dodgy notes here.
Have you watched Portugal?
He's been very poor.
He's been better for Portugal than he has been for United.
Well, that wouldn't be
I
hard.
could be better for Portugal than Ronaldo.
Like,
said it before, Owen.
Yes,
that means nothing.
Said it before.
Knees.
If you hadn't done your knees, lad.
Yeah, well, look, I'm a versatile player, mate. Left back, goalkeeper,
but
left back on the bench, wherever you want. I'll be there.
Bruno is so creative. Like, even when he's playing for Man United, he was creating so many chances. It's just our forwards couldn't finish them.
I know,
so he can play that killer pass. I know he gives away the ball a lot and stuff like that, but he's a different standard. Like
I actually don't even care about the giving the ball away anymore. I
Yeah.
watched us against Villa that
Oh,
day
that
to
was
understand
horrendous,
how much
yeah.
we need Bruno. So
and even in Europa League, if he doesn't play or something, we just look so different. It's just there's no creativity. Like
yeah.
you know,
Well, what about Portugal then? Do you think Portugal progress? Do you think
tough
they
game
go
against
any
Switzerland.
further?
It is a tough game.
Yeah, Switzerland playing all right. That Switzerland-Serbia game was brilliant.
Yeah,
Do you see out of all the European teams still left in it, I would say France are probably the best side. But do you see, like in terms of that sort of like tournament, like who I think will go deeper? I actually think Portugal will go deeper than
Yeah,
France.
so do I.
Yeah,
Though in the competition.
they're set to meet if they both go through.
Yeah.
And Portugal do have their number a wee bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even from the Euros
from the
final.
Euros, yeah.
I'm going to ask you this. See, he didn't touch the ball. Want to make that very perfectly clear. I'm not saying he did touch the ball, but if he had scored that goal against Uruguay, would you be still saying Ronaldo's had a bad tournament?
Yes.
To be completely honest with you, lad, yes.
when you look at like even compared to Messi, how good he's been for that Argentina side compared to Ronaldo, like what is he?
I feel like, do you see the
He's
last like year that I've watched Ronaldo? I feel like it's always the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, he's good for a goal, but
Haven't played well.
he
His hold up
when he
play.
gets on the ball, he's brutal.
Yeah.
he slows it down.
He can't hold the ball up. He can't hold the ball up properly. He doesn't have the same legs anymore, so he can't sprint into those areas like he used to be able to. Like it looks as when he's on the ball, he's like a big donkey. And even then, like people lorded him for years for always being in the right position. Well, I haven't seen him in the right position a whole pile of times this tournament. Like I watched Giroud, and Giroud is always in the goal scoring areas.
The goat.
Lad, the ball goes out to the wing for Portugal. Ronaldo's standing on the edge of the area. You're like, would you fucking get into the box?
I know.
Make a run for
You're
it.
one of the best headers ever of
Yes.
all. And he still is. Like, get in the box. It was the same for United all this season. But, like, I do think against Ghana, Ronaldo played really well.
Yeah.
And obviously he won the penalty. I don't think it was a penalty.
No.
But he won the penalty and stuff. I think he was quite influential to beating Ghana. But I think he needs to take a step back and realise that he's not always going to be the main man.
He's not the main man.
He's being completely overshadowed, I think, by Bruno at the minute.
Yeah. And Rafael Leao's coming off the bench and having a stormer for Portugal.
I can't
think
believe he
he's
doesn't
been
start.
Fantastic for Portugal.
I made the point a couple of weeks ago. I think Portugal were better
With him,
with him rather than Ronaldo.
Yeah, well, I understand that too, but I also understand from Portugal's perspective, they need to have Cristiano Ronaldo because he is the best number 9 that they've got. But it's just, I hope he, like, even though I am still pissed off at him, I hope he does have a good tournament. And I didn't at the start of I didn't give Portugal a chance at the start of the tournament, but they could make it to the semi-final and the final. Do you
like,
know
even
what I mean?
They could win it.
Yeah, they actually
with
could.
Ronaldo, it's not even us being like annoyed at Ronaldo. It's
Yeah.
just we're just watching him and we're just seeing how like he gives away the ball a lot as well, and he's been getting taken off every game. I just think he's been very poor.
I still love him. Like, no, even
I know
No,
you love
okay,
it. That's not to do with it, lad.
he's a
We're
legend.
legend.
Yes,
no,
no.
it's not to do with love. I love him too, but it's just to do with how he's
Yeah.
playing. He's not
No,
playing well. You just call him out for it. You know.
Don't get me wrong.
even if
Like
he scores 7 own goals tomorrow night, I'd be like, great game, Ronaldo, good lad. You got 3 touches in the box, good man.
don't get me wrong. Like Ronaldo's still he's still my favorite ever player. But yeah, I'm still pissed off at him. Don't get me wrong. But I can't sit here and just say this and say that about him. Like I have to call him out when he's poor. Like and he's poor at the minute. Like and he has been poor for the past. Well, he's been poor. You would say probably from the start of the season. Like
Look, I don't think Ronaldo's had a good tournament or anywhere near having a good tournament. I think he's had a bad tournament, but I don't think he's had as bad a tournament as people are saying. And I think the whole thing, the goal, has started sort of a bit of a narrative about Ronaldo.
Do you think it's to do with the standards though? We hold him to a higher standard.
Oh, of course we do. Hold him to
Yeah.
higher standards. There's no doubt about that.
So then we're just
Like,
more harsh on him.
he's, as Oren alluded to, he's still the best number 9 Portugal's got. Andre Silva's not going to start over him. Andre Silva has a couple of decent seasons in the Bundesliga, but he's never done it for Portugal.
I understand what you're saying, especially about if that goal had been given to Ronaldo. Because I mind whenever it was originally thought Ronaldo scored that goal, all I seen on Twitter was Ronaldo, unbelievable, best player to ever play for Portugal, best goal scorer in international history. This is what he does and all this here. And then it came out that it wasn't him. And as quickly as there was so much praise for Ronaldo for being in the position and scoring that goal, that was all taken away, and it was, I'm away to tell Piers Morgan that Bruno took my goal, and oh, I'm packing my bags, there's no way I'm playing for this national team. And I seen the videos of him throwing the captain's armband on the ground and stuff like this here. So I do think the media plays a lot as to how we perceive Ronaldo's performances, especially in this tournament. However, I do still think he's underperformed.
Yeah. It's more like his all-round game has been very poor. Like if he scores the goals, obviously he can just hide over that fact because he's scoring goals, but all-round game he's been very poor. He's hold up his pass.
I do agree with you that he's been bad,
yeah.
but I don't agree that he's been horrific, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's the standards that we'll hold him to. That's just...
And that's the thing, like, you know, that worst team of the tournament, I think that was SofaScore or LiveScore or someone that put that up. Like, I don't know how LiveScore do their ratings or how they correlate.
I think it's not people rating them.
I don't know.
No.
I think they actually have like a way that they rate players, but the only thing is, like, obviously, yes, we can say that he's in the worst team of the tournament thus far, but that's not like an official thing, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But at the same time, I do think it is a damning statistic, or it's a damning fact in the sense that, you know, this guy has been at the pinnacle of football for 17 years. It's almost sad to watch, to be completely honest. Like, it's like you're watching your hero realistically on his last legs, and to me, this tournament, more than anything, has proved United's decision to let him go was right, because he's not at that required level anymore. I think this tournament has proven that even on the international stage, I don't think he's good enough to do it anymore. And it's shit, and it's sad to say this because it's my favourite ever player, but I think he needs to realise he's just past it.
Yeah, but I do think that SofaScore worst team of the tournament thing, that has to be taken with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
There's so many more strikers that have played in this World Cup that have been worse than Ronaldo.
Like, I think having Ronaldo in there is just...
It's because he's Cristiano
Ronaldo.
It's easy, it's easy to say.
Yeah.
The first thing they're going to say in that tweet or whatever they put up is Cristiano Ronaldo makes our worst our worst 11 in the group stage.
But the thing about it is, as well, like, we're slagging him, but then, as you said on Twitter and stuff, if he goes and scores 2 goals tonight or tomorrow night, they'll all be like, oh, he's a goat again.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
It just shows the perception of football fans.
Recency
just
bias.
changes so quickly.
It's recency bias, and like that's what football always will be. It's always recency bias, like,
and it has to be now in the digital age.
Yeah.
And look, unfortunately, when you are a player like Ronaldo, you know, you have been at, like I said, you've been at the pinnacle of football for 17 years. When you start to perform poorly, people are going to hound you a lot more than say if Danny Drinkwater started playing poorly. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're Cristiano Ronaldo, you're hailed to
Shout
a
out to
much.
Danny Drinkwater.
Shout out to Danny Drinkwater.
Hope you're enjoying the pod.
But people But people watch Portugal for Ronaldo. There's a lot of people do that. Even I would do that over the years. I would watch for Ronaldo, so we're just going to watch him. We're going to look at his performance.
Exactly.
And if he's underperforming, it's going to stand out.
Like, that's the thing. Like, and you do, like, when you watch Portugal, you do focus your attention to Ronaldo. Your eyes do tend to drift towards Ronaldo because you're always expecting him to do the spectacular.
Yeah.
But I just think he's not that type of player anymore. I think now he is. You know, it's funny. Like, we talked about Giroud a couple of weeks ago, and people laugh. Like, I'd say, like, I got a few texts. People going, "What are those two smoking?" Like, saying that Giroud's going to finish top goal scorer.
Yeah, good stuff. That's what we're smoking.
But you know what? Like, people mock Giroud and say that, like, he's not mobile and he's not this and he's not that. Like, Giroud still scores goals. Like, I'm watching Ronaldo and I'm going, if you don't score, there's not a whole pile that you do.
But Giroud's all-round game as well. He can hold up the ball. He brings others into play. Him and Mbappe have such a good understanding of somebody. That's what Mbappe, he wanted to play with Giroud.
Yeah.
Because they have that understanding.
I think it's a blessing in disguise, this Benzema injury. Like, whenever me and Owen first made that prediction that Giroud could be the top scorer of this tournament, like, if Benzema was fit, we would have to realistically accept that he wasn't going to start.
No.
We still thought he was going to score goals, of course, just because I think he's got that killer instinct of a striker.
Yeah.
The
good thing about Giroud is, like, he doesn't let anything affect him. Like, he missed a really good chance last night.
He picks his head up and he goes again.
So what? 5 minutes later, he
scored a goal.
He scores.
It was such a good goal too because he hit it so early. So the goalkeeper was not positioned.
And he, like, bounced
bottom
into,
corner.
he, like, bounced it into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Oren. It's just, I think when you play for a team like France, it's hard to get disheartened because you know you're going to get more chances within the game.
If people were to look,
But he's so selfless.
in 15 years' time, if they were to look up Olivier Giroud highlights on YouTube, they would think Olivier Giroud is one of the best
Seen that before.
strikers ever.
Some of
Because of the goals he scores, what he's won.
Yeah.
Like, the man's won a World Cup, he's won Champions League, he's won the Premier League.
I
Europa
don't think
League.
it's a ridiculous
Europa League.
statement.
One league in with Montpellier.
With Montpellier, not even one of the big boys.
Serie A, he brought
Like-
AC Milan back.
With Giroud, it's just so
Sorry,
how
huh?
selfless he is. Like that's compared to Ronaldo. He's just
He's adapted his game.
yeah.
Ronaldo adapted his game to a certain point. Ronaldo was a winger.
Mm-hmm.
He adapted his game to become the most clinical striker we've probably ever seen in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Now he is still that striker. I mind seeing it when he first came back to United, and especially in his last season at Juve. It was a lot like Jermaine, Harry Kane and Son had that connection like 2 years ago, and Harry Kane was like the top assister in the league or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mind seeing Ronaldo try to emulate that a wee bit, and he was coming a bit deeper, trying to get the ball to feet. And like we were talking about it there, if a winger has the ball, Ronaldo's usually looking the ball to feet rather than darting into the box trying to get a goal. So I think he was trying to change his approach to being a striker, but at his age and when his legs aren't doing everything that he's telling them to still, I think he needs to accept that he needs to be
A
that
poacher.
number 9. He needs to be a poacher, and that's what Giroud is so good at doing, because
Yeah.
he just knows, right, if Mbappe is coming with this ball, I need to be there. If Mbappe shoots and the keeper parries it, I need to be here because I need to be finishing that chance
Yeah.
on the rebound.
Definitely.
And if Ronaldo stopped thinking of himself as the great Cristiano Ronaldo and as the striker for Portugal, if he thought of himself as the striker for Portugal, this is where I need to be, I think he could have a better tournament. And obviously it's easy for us to speculate because Cristiano Ronaldo's, he's done it all, and we're saying, oh, you're not good enough anymore. He's still bloody Cristiano Ronaldo, like, do you know what I mean?
Like,
But
even
if he
does-
changed his game just that one little bit to get that striker instinct to be where he needs to be and stay there, because I've seen it a lot over the last 2 years, he could be in the right position and they don't cross it in. And there's so many times, Richie, me and you've watched United and we thought, why are you not crossing that in? He's in the box waiting for that ball and Ronaldo throws his hand up or whatever. Just stay there, be a bit more patient, call your name, because 9 times out of 10 you're winning that ball over defender.
Oh yeah.
But what Ronaldo also needs to realise is all eyes are on him.
Yeah.
That includes the centre backs' eyes are on Ronaldo. So if he stands in something that looks dangerous, but the ball's going nowhere near it, there's going to be at least one guy right there and another guy ready to go there, which means somebody like Rafael Leao or Ricardo Horta or whoever's playing along up that front three of Portugal can sneak in behind. And if he can realise he can do that, it could change a lot for Portugal. It probably won't change the public opinion on him, but I'd like to think Ronaldo at this stage of his career just wants a World Cup. And if he wants a World Cup, that's what he's going to have to start doing.
Well, I know this is his last World Cup, but I think since he's played in the World Cup, this is his best chance of getting one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like compared to Messi? Messi's been.
Yeah, Messi's
been,
played well.
He's played well.
Yeah.
Even that last game, he was definitely their best player.
Yeah, he was.
It feels like they're too dependent on him though. Argentina.
Yeah, like Messi's grinding them results for Argentina,
Yeah.
whereas Ronaldo does actually have a good team
He's a
behind
good
him.
team around him. Like, like I think Argentina's midfield we were talking about is just.
I think if
It's
you
not
threw
good enough,
Messi, Messi's used to being. Messi, in my opinion, at Barcelona, had that great team around him, and that was where he was used to playing. Like, he was showing off in probably the best team in the world at the time, and he had all them great players behind him to feed him through and stuff like this here. So Messi's, in my opinion, not used to being the one to drag his team. I think if Ronaldo and Messi were switched, Messi would thrive in a Portugal team because it's such a good team and it has such good chemistry behind him. And I think Ronaldo would thrive because he's used to being the man to bring his team forward and grab results for his team. So I think if roles were a bit reversed, but yeah, as you said,
Messi's
Drummond,
been very
Messi's,
good. Like,
Messi's
I think
been
he's,
really well.
he's definitely missing that yard of pace he had,
Yeah.
but he can still just
His
make
dribbling,
players look
yeah.
foolish. And he set up 2 great chances at the end. They really should have killed them off.
Yeah.
Scored the great goal. He has been unbelievable. Like
what
Joe,
happened?
though, fair play to Australia. Australia
Yeah.
played a good game.
they almost equalised at the end, but
Mhm.
would have been undeserved probably because Argentina were a better team. But still, like for them to get that far, and they play good football too. So
Well, like you're looking at a game Australia lost by a goal. There's that Lissandro Martinez black. Later on, there was that Emi Martinez save. There's 2 golden chances. Argentina's second goal came from Ryan just not booting the ball.
I know, but Argentina missed 2 or 3 great chances.
I know they did.
They should have the game killed.
I know they should have the game
They
killed.
got the game.
They didn't have the game killed, and that's the concerning
But
thing
they
for
won
Argentina.
anyway, so. Yeah.
But going forward, that's concerning for Argentina
Mm-hmm.
because they haven't.
That's
performed
what I
in
was going to say.
tournaments.
Their midfield is not great. And I don't understand how Martinez doesn't start, but that's just... I won't even go into that because I'll be like United best, but you know, you boys would know, how does Martinez not start in that team over Otamendi?
No, he made a great block, and obviously Emi Martinez made a good save at the end. I agree with both of what you're saying, but I do think, you know, like, you can have all these chances, you need to finish them. Look, they won the game, they're through, but it could have been a different result if luck was swinging on Australia's side.
And they're now playing the first team that you would say are a challenge for Argentina in the Netherlands. The first one of the big boys.
Yeah.
And they haven't, in their 4 games so far, they really haven't been impressive.
No, they haven't.
No, I would agree with that.
Like, the Dutch will set up similar to the way they did against the US and let Argentina have the ball and condense that space and not give Messi that space in the box.
Yeah.
Because there's a wee bit of naivety from
just let
Australia.
him do what he
Like,
wants, yeah.
Messi's first goal was a great finish. Why are you giving Lionel Messi that much space in the box?
Yeah.
You know the outcome. It was the typical Messi goal where there's no power in the shot, but it's right in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
You can do nothing
No,
about it.
Van Gaal will definitely have a plan for
So
Messi.
Van Gaal will know what he's doing, and I worry for Argentina a wee bit.
So we're going to talk about the next 4 games that are left in the round of 16. So obviously tonight, that's been recorded on Monday. So tonight we've got Japan versus Croatia, Brazil and South Korea.
Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking about that, Connor?
I'd love to see both underdogs win the game.
Yeah.
To be
But
completely
Dorman
honest.
wouldn't. Dorman doesn't like the
I
underdogs.
want to. Not when there's money at stake, lads. Come on.
I'd love to see
Only joking.
I'd love to see Japan beat Croatia. I think Japan actually have a very realistic chance of
Yeah,
beating
I think
Croatia.
Japan will.
I thought
beat
Croatia were very poor against Belgium, so
Yeah.
I think there's
Yeah.
a really good chance.
I think Japan could really turn over Croatia, and just to see if they do, and they turn over the 2018 finalists. Fair play to them.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And I hope that it's on merit. So I think Japan could definitely get through Croatia. As for Brazil and South Korea, my head is telling me Brazil are going to thump South Korea.
Yeah.
But my heart is telling me that South Korea are going to nick a result here.
Big Choba. Cho up front.
Cho is the GOAT, lad.
we know he learns Portuguese, so
I know. Here, what about him? Hey, 16,000 followers before, 20,000 followers before he went into this World Cup. Now he's got 1.6 million.
I know.
And he told, I think it was an interview on Korea TV or something. And he told them that he had to turn his phone off because he was getting so many marriage proposals. I'm going to just say I was one of them.
I was the other 4,000.
Well, I'm going to be honest. We talked about one poor striker in Cristiano Ronaldo, and now we're talking about a guy who is so good at what he does.
One of the greatest.
Cho.
Where's he going to go next?
Where's he going
Bayern,
to go?
Man
Right to the
United.
very top.
He's going places.
Do you know what's annoying me about Cho doing so well at the World Cup? Celtic were starting to get linked to them before the World Cup, and now there's no chance we're getting that.
No,
Cho's too good, lad, too good.
Yeah, no, that fella's going to go to the Premier League.
Yeah.
Or one of Europe's top 5 leagues
Could,
anyway.
yeah, he could. Yeah.
I could see him in the Premier League. I could see somebody like, Forrest or someone taking a punt
Quick
on
fix
him.
for Ronaldo. No.
Joe?
Yeah.
Can take him no ball. He's scoring goals.
He's so good at head. Like, he's a good header of the ball.
Yeah, I don't know where
he's-
that came from.
Leap. Where's that leap coming? That's unbelievable.
I love that whole thing. I love the whole thing about him just learning Portuguese to tell Ronaldo to back off.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was insane.
What about dog games then? Morocco, Spain. I go on Spain, boys. Owen.
Morocco.
You're going Morocco?
I think in the last 4 games there's going to be 2 shocks.
Yeah.
I think Japan will beat Croatia, which I don't think is a seismic shock, and I think Morocco will beat Spain. I've been really, really impressed with Morocco so
Yeah,
far.
I've been
this
impressed with
tournament.
Morocco.
I'm
So,
going
yeah,
to go Spain all day, boys. Spain all day.
It'll be a good game, though.
No,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Morocco have been, defensively, they've only conceded 1 goal, an own goal, and Hakimi, you were saying like you were going for your group stage team of the.
Hakimi's at right back there.
Hakimi, you might say he's played for Wolves. He's been very good, so
And
it would be hard to break down.
Spain, obviously, great result against Costa Rica, but they've been a wee bit off the
Disappointing,
boil
yeah.
since then.
See, they dominate the ball. They had like 82% ball against Japan, but they just couldn't finish
Couldn't
their
do anything
chances.
with it,
That's
yeah.
the problem. That is what I worry about.
Mhm.
Morata scored 3 and 3, so it's not his problem, but we'll just have to see.
And then last game,
I hope Galvi gets beat.
This is like a Spain hater.
I want to see Morocco do well. Like, I don't think they'll beat Spain.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've slated Spain a lot in this podcast so far. Well, Dorman hasn't because
I'll never slate Spain.
he loves them.
Never.
But yeah, Spain are likely going to win that. Morocco have really impressed me though, and their performances from individual players has been really, really good too. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that game, to be honest. Last game is Portugal and Switzerland. So obviously we just had Switzerland and Serbia.
Great game.
It was a good game, but you know what? I felt Switzerland lacked a lot at the back.
Yeah.
I know they won, but you see when Serbia's equaliser, Mitrovic's header in particular, not one person in that Switzerland defence ran out to Dusan Tadic.
Yeah.
And we've seen Dusan Tadic in the last 5 years or so in Europe and stuff, just performing so well. We know his qualities. We should be used to his qualities by now. So why did no one go out and attack him? Because he was just given all that space. And when you give a creative player like him that sort of space, he's going to find his man in the box.
You can't be giving Bruno Fernandes that sort of space.
Yeah, exactly. So why would you give it to Dusan Tadic? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Switzerland and Serbia, I was going to mention this about Spain and Morocco as well. There's a lot of like political charged history there, so the players were really up for it. Like you seen, there's a couple of times there's nearly scraps. You seen Xhaka grabbing his balls at the Serbia bench and all.
His cojones.
His cojones.
Yeah.
His massive cojones. That man charged around in the wheelbarrow. But I feel after a game like that, where you've been so emotionally up for it and spent so much emotional energy on him to get up for a game like that, the next game can kind of be let down a wee bit.
I do think you're right.
In terms of like, you've been so high and you've lost that wee bit of motivation for your next game, and not just like physical emotion you'll be wrecked, emotionally you're wrecked, and that can creep into the back of your head if things aren't going your way. That I feel could be a small issue for Switzerland.
Well, what do we think then?
Portugal have that experience as well in tournaments, so as you were saying, like they're really good at like knockout and stuff. So I go Portugal.
Well, so let's just get our final predictions then for the next 4 games. So tonight with Japan, Croatia, I agree with Richie. I think Japan have it, to be honest. Richie, Japan.
Yeah, I'm going Japan.
Conor Roman.
Japan.
And Owen.
Yeah, Deja Miedo wins the
Deja
battle of
Miedo.
the Celtic men.
No, I do. Japan, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Brazil, South Korea. Look, I'd love to see a South Korea win, but realistically, I think Brazil.
Yeah.
I've said Brazil are going to win the tournament, so I can't say they're going to get beat by South Korea. McCardle.
Brazil.
Dorman.
Brazil.
And Richie's going left field.
Yeah, I'm going to go South Korea.
South Korea. Well, let's see. You never know. That's the beauty of the World Cup. Morocco, Spain. We know Dorman's answer. Murata 3 goals, you hear him?
3 and 3, lad. You can't deny it.
Well, Dorman thinks Spain going to win. Look, I think Spain's going to win too. Richie?
I would say Spain as well.
McCardle.
They used to be part of Spain, but they're beating Spain. Morocco.
Whoa! Cream of the cream right there.
Morocco are the cream of the cream. They're the last African. They're going to be the last African nation in the competition.
Well, they statistically are at the minute.
Yeah, I know.
The only one.
The only one there.
So in terms of
that's a safe bet to say that to McCardle.
That is a fact. No, it is a fact.
in terms of rounds,
Yeah.
they'll be the longest running African team in the tournament.
And the last one, Portugal and Switzerland. Portugal, yeah. I think Ronaldo and Portugal could go far in this tournament.
Yeah, well, I predict them to win it, so I have to go.
Yeah,
Portugal.
you have to be Portugal and Richie.
Yeah, it's easy win for Portugal.
Yeah. So quickly to finish off, we're going to go through our team of the group stage so far. We're going to start with McCardle.
Yep. So my team, I have went Wojciech Szczesny and goals.
Yeah.
You see, 2 penalties in the World Cup group stage. And including the rebound of one of them, you can't not be the best goalkeeper in the group stage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I went Szczesny. I alluded to earlier on, I went Hakimi at right back. I just think Morocco's been fantastic.
Yeah.
I needed to get somebody from Morocco in, so why not their best player?
Yeah.
My back 2, I went Maguire and Thiago Silva. Now, Maguire has been slated relentlessly for his performance for United, but there's something about putting on an England jersey that he's unreal for them. He's been so defensively solid. England's played 4 games, kept 3 clean sheets, and the last 3 games in a row have been kept clean sheets in.
I think the games have suited him, though. I will say that.
Yeah. At left back, I went Theo Hernandez. He wasn't originally starting for France, and then his brother got injured, and he came in, got an assist against Denmark, and he's been really, really good for France. I have a midfield 3 of Casemiro, Tuchemani, and Bruno Fernandes, who's if I was to choose my player of the tournament now, it would probably be Mbappe. But if it wasn't Mbappe, I started talking. I was like, yeah, no, it's going to be Mbappe. The silver ball winner would be Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
I have a front three of Mbappe, obviously.
Yeah.
Saka and Cody Gakpo.
Very good. Dorman?
Nice.
So I just went Chesney as well. He made the most saves in the group stage, 18. 2 pen saves, 2 clean sheets. And then I went for Hakimi. He only conceded 1 goal, an assist. And then I went for, it's a bit weird, Saiss, you know, you used to play for Wolves.
Yes.
He's part of that Moroccan
Yeah.
backline, and they've probably been like one of the best defences. And then I went Suter, Australia, unbelievable, especially against Tunisia. He made so many defensive blocks.
He has been playing well.
And then, I don't even know how to pronounce it. You know the way they plays for RB Leipzig?
Rhyme.
Yeah, Oscar Guardiola.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gvardiol, yeah.
He's been brilliant. I thought, I know Lukaku was unlucky to miss them chances, but he's been brilliant, and he made that last ditch tackle.
There was one of the ones that wasn't Lukaku's fault. That was an outrageous
block, And then I went Casemiro. He's been one of the best players of the tournament. You tipped him to.
Yeah, be the
Maybe
best player.
he could be. He could be.
The goal, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
insane.
class, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went Bruno, 2 assists, 2 goals, probably player of the group stage. But Mbappe after yesterday, probably player of the tournament so far. But then Messi, 2 goals. I think he just carries that Barcelona, Argentinian team. And then I went Rashford, bit of bias maybe, but 3 goals in 2 games. He only played the last half hour against Iran. He didn't start the second game either. So he's been great. Mbappe obviously 3 goals in 3 games, and then I go Gakpo, 3 goals, 3 games. And I think he's actually underrated because the way Louis van Gaal sets up, it's for him to contribute so much to be that,
especially not playing as a night number 9.
No.
He's just done unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, he has. No, I agree with a lot of them. Richie?
Yeah, so I think the obvious goalkeeper Chesney.
Yeah.
Really, he just has been the best goalkeeper at the tournament. Right back, I also went Hakimi too. I think finally people are seeing Hakimi on the world stage.
Yeah.
People can recognise just how good he actually is. He is far and away the best right back in the world.
But we were saying that, weren't we? In our predictions, we were he's so good.
Yeah.
He contributes so much. You were saying
People
3 goals, 3 assists for PSG.
People just ignore his age.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People talk about Trent being generational. That's fair enough. That's fine. I've no issue with that. But you see all round, Hakimi's much better than Trent. To be completely honest.
As a man who's played for Inter Milan, Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid,
And PSG.
He's won
And
titles,
PSG,
load of places
already.
Yeah.
But just his all-round game, he doesn't really get beat. He's rapidly fast, so he doesn't get beat for pace. I would say that if France and Morocco were ever to meet, I would say Hakimi could not comfortably deal with Mbappe, but he would keep up with him for pace
He
anyway.
might be the only man on the planet who matches up with Mbappe.
Yeah.
Sure, Kyle Walker, lads. He's the only man that can stop him.
For my 2 centre backs,
quickly moving on.
You didn't like that one, lads?
I'm not gonna lie, I can't really think of 2 centre backs to be honest. Because again, I just think every team has set up defensively, so it's hard to pick 2 outstanding centre backs. But I'm gonna go for I watched that fella Gvardiol and I really really liked him. I think he's been really good, and it's tough. I really don't know who to go for the
Go
second
Maguire,
one.
lad.
No, I'm not going Maguire.
Pepe.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to go Pepe. I'll give Pepe a shout out. He's 38, 39 and he's still playing at the top level.
I love that man.
Left back, I've actually gone for a wee bit of an outside shout. I'm going for the Mexican left back, Gallardo. I don't think I've seen performances like it. He was up and down that pitch for Mexico. Yes, I know Mexico didn't qualify and they didn't go through, but he was Mexico's standout player by far. And considering he plays for the same nation that Lozano plays for, yet he was the standout player. I'm going to go for Gallardo at left back. My 3 in midfield, I've gone Tchouaméni, Bellingham and Bruno. Again, Tchouaméni is one of those players I can't get over how good he is for his age. Same as Bellingham, and Bruno is just... Bruno's Bruno, really. He's just one of the top players in the world. My front 3, I'm going Rashford. Again, just having a phenomenal tournament. Looks back to his best. Under normal circumstances, I would go Saka as well, but I was just going to pick one England player, so I'm going to go Rashford. Mbappe, again, totally obvious, and Gakpo, and again, that's just an obvious choice, really, too. So,
it's hard to disagree with anybody's choices there. Really, I've most of my team in the group stage is very similar, if not the same. I have went a bit different in goalkeeper. Obviously, I mentioned him as World Cup hero a few weeks ago. I'm going to say Guillermo Ochoa as my goalkeeper was brilliant against Poland. Look, he made a couple of decent saves in his other games. He's just in a poor Mexican team, so I do think that has to be taken into consideration. But I think as a goalkeeper and from goalkeeping performances solely, Guillermo Ochoa was my goalkeeper. Again, like you've all said, Achraf Hakimi has to be my right back. Morocco, brilliant. I'm not going to say it too much just because you've already said it. Yeah. Harry Maguire and centre back. And even though he hasn't started all the games, Lisandro Martinez, because he's just, whenever he has played, he's been influential, and he's provided the killer blocks and stuff like that there when his teams needed him most. A left back, I'm going to go Jasko Vardiel. He's been brilliant for Croatia, especially in that game against Belgium. My midfield, have to go Casemiro. Casemiro, I think, has been absolutely phenomenal. And I predicted him to be the player of the tournament, and I'm standing by it 100%. He's influential in that position midfield. I've been torn between a couple. Obviously, I have to put in Bruno Fernandes. He's been influential for Portugal too. But I've been torn between Bellingham and Musiala for midfield, because I think even though Germany have been knocked out, Musiala has been a standout performer for Germany. But I am going to go Bellingham just because England's still in the tournament. They're through now to the quarterfinals, and he has been the man in midfield. And we were talking about him a lot at the start of the podcast. 19, he's just got it all. And front three, again, very similar. I've got Cody Gakpo, obviously. He's just, as Conor Dorman said, how he's performed so well in that Van Gaal side and the way Van Gaal plays football, especially not being up front. I think he really deserves to be up there, and he deservedly is being touted by all the best clubs in the world for January. Kylian Mbappe, can't deny his performances, has to be there, all the goals. And then just from a completely biased standpoint, I'm going Olivier Giroud, just because I think he really complements Mbappe. And I think they complement each other really well. And you even seen in the celebration last night between the two of them that they have such a good relationship with each other, and I think as a front two, they could go very far in this tournament.
Giroud's not bad for a goalkeeper anyway.
No.
No, he isn't. Right, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week's anyway, folks. Like I said last week, we have numerous exciting content planned. I think it's more than likely going to be over Christmas that we get all this stuff sort of organised. We'll try and get exams and stuff out of the way first. But listen, once again, just a massive, massive thank you for all the support. Massive thank you for people who are tuning in every week and listening to us talk shite, really. So, look, we really, really appreciate it. And once again, like we said last week, we're not just on YouTube and Spotify, but we are also on the Parlay Sports app. Parlay is an app that wants inclusivity and non-hatred within football, so we would urge you to download the app from the Apple App Store. Come on, have a conversation with us, have a bit of crack with us. Don't be afraid to invite us. Join us to a conversation, and we'll have it. We can have a chat about
they're
things.
Only 7-minute videos, 7-minute videos.
Exactly.
So you can have a chat with us, have a chat with other fans from your club. We all think that this is the way that football fans are going to be able to communicate, and we think it's the way forward in that. So we would love to see you over there.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, plenty of exciting content planned, and thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks. Thank you.